Hello everyone, welcome. Ooh, voice problems. Welcome to a new episode of Banter Blitz. Same old, same old. I played horribly in yesterday's episode, number 85. So I am planning to play better today. That is the plan. How many times have I said plan so far? Challenge me to a 5-minute game if you would like to play a friendly game of chess. Then we might chat about it, or I might talk nonsense about it, and we might never hear from it again. I've been watching Grand Chess Tour, so my brain is still in half like chatting, lol, look at this super strong player, not making the computer move mode. Therefore, it will be very hard to adjust and play chess myself now. So Grand Chess Tour, Wesley So in the lead, 10 out of 12. Then Magnus Carlsen, MVL, 8 out of 12. Wesley looking good. What, this is a sad introduction. I can't even put two sentences together. Let's play a game of chess. I have to cancel my test game and play one of y'all. This can only take hours. Do I say that every show? There's so many things I say every show. I get sick of myself that I keep saying the same things. But I don't really think of new stuff. Like, I'm at an age now where you're set in your ways. The clothes I have are the clothes I have. The expressions I have are the expressions I have. Thoughts I have are the thoughts I have. The opinions I have, I don't really have opinions. Sometimes I steal smart people's opinions and then pretend they're my own, but I don't really have my own opinions. Anyway, we're playing Gustav Chatterjee, number 1. And we are playing the good old Nimzo Indian, where he's playing one of these smart systems with e3, knight g, e2. I believe in my video series I gave c6 here, even though d5 is the main move, and rook e8 followed by bishop f8. It's also perfectly legit, but c6, intending to tuck this bishop away on c7, was a move that appealed to me a little bit. Just a little bit. Looked goofy, and it made some sense at least to me. So why not? I can't remember anything as usual, but I don't think there's that much theory to know here. If my bishop gets questioned, it shall go all the way back to c7. After moves like bishop d3 tempt me a bit to take and go e5. Can I do that? I want to do that. Now that I want a tempo, it feels like this might make a bit of sense. If I'm allowed to, I might take on d4 and then go knight b6, knight bd5. But I don't have to. I can also follow up with just putting my bishop on c7 and asking Gustav what he wants to do. But I kind of want to take, I guess. I'm reasonably simple-minded when it comes to... I was gonna say to chess, but really when it comes to anything, I just want to take your pawns. And if I can't because I'm losing my bishop, then I get very upset. And I try to think of something else, but normally it doesn't work. So knight b6. The problem is if he goes bishop a2, which I'm expecting, I can't take on d4. Due to b4, that's what I was talking about. Therefore, I need to come up with a backup plan. Maybe call up my backup man. And the best I can think of is putting this knight here. You know, blockade the, whatever they call this, the isolated pawn. And now make some moves. Rook a8, bishop e6, h6. Can't be too bad for black, can it? Maybe bishop to b6 to target the pawn. Maybe I should have done something about bishop to g5. But I did not. It's a hard knock life for us. Do I sing that song every show too? I have a feeling I'm referring a lot to It's a Hard Knock Life. As for the position, it's probably... I want to think I'm slightly better, but I guess it's still equal. Especially after my not very precise bishop e6 move, allowing the knight to come all the way to c5. maybe here. Knight c5 bothers me a bit. So I'm trying to arrange my pieces that I can put the rook on d8. Therefore, if my bishop ever has to retreat all the way to c8, it won't lock the rook in. And if he takes, I'll take back. Life goes on. I was thinking if queen g5 is annoying me. Well, it is annoying me. It doesn't really do all that much after h6. The queen doesn't have a great square to go. So even though the annoyance factor is there, it did not seem annoying enough to change my worldviews. Which are not really existent, as I mentioned earlier. I was taught that if your opponent has an isolated pawn, you should exchange a bunch of pieces so that the pawn becomes weaker, and then you might be able to take it in the endgame. There's this famous banter from the old days between, like, who was it? Petrosian and, I don't know, some of the smart old dudes, or they weren't old at the time, some of the masters of our game were discussing if you should block the passed pawn or take it. I think Larsen was a big advocate of taking the guy. Well, I don't know. Petrosian, one of those, was more into blockading it. I don't know. I'm well educated when it comes to chess classics, as you can see. As for the position, yeah, it's still roughly equal. Roughly boring too. White should probably try to generate some very mild initiative on the queen side. Not so much to get an advantage there, but to exchange pawns like b4, a4, b5, liquidate and equalize. Well, for me, I'm contemplating if I have to exchange rooks or if I can try to keep rooks on the board. And while it's a little risky to keep them on the board because I'm giving up the e-file, which I don't want. I also don't want to make a draw, so I'll try a bit to, I don't know, keep their heads spinning. No checkmate yet. At some point, this is more of a note to self situation, I should make a luft with g6 or h6 before I blunder into some back rank situation. But hang on, if I can take a pawn, I might. But queen d4, rook d1 is this point. Very deep. Alright, so h6 probably. I never know when one should go h6 and when one should go g6, but here g6 seemed like it was weakening. Too many darky squares. The rook returns to d1. I still don't really have a plan to... Well, it's an equal position. It's hard to generate a plan that transforms an equal position to a better position without help of your opponent. Except for plan B, of course. Plan B is always there. But I have a feeling I'm cheating you guys out of the expected education. Nah, you don't expect any education, do you? Expected educational aspect of this program. If I just flag everybody all the time. Don't we want to see, like, I don't know. Do I want to go for the end game? I guess I should, right? It's so dull. Expecting him to go rook e2, and then I don't want any problems on the e-file. So, where do I put this? Here? Not sure if it's really doing anything there. Nah. Time to speed up a little bit while I was talking about flagging coup stuff. I noticed I'm not that far ahead on the clock. Wow, forcing the issue. Did you think this through, my friend? Looks like he lost patience a bit. Try to get rid of the isolated pawn. And while he might be able to do it, it might also cost him a pawn. Possibly this is a draw, but maybe it's not. I'm a pawn up. What's not to like about extra pawns? Looks like white might run out of useful moves at some point if I just keep, you know, chilling. It's a race. Looks like a good race for me though. Bit of a head start. Oof, b5 was terrible. Really, really bad. Now it really became a race. Oof. Why did I do that? Now I have to calculate. Very disappointing. I'm winning, fortunately. But still, b5 was very careless. That's the fake being unhappy with my play, even though I won. I don't care. As long as I win, I'm happy. Thanks for the game, Gustav. Oh, and we have a FIDE master, a master of the International Chess Federation. Certified master. Rated 2800. Why is everybody so strong? I don't really differentiate by rating on this program, so I should make more of an effort to play some lower rated guys later during the show. Normally I mainly differentiate by have not played this guy yet. And this is a 3-minute challenge. I don't like 3-minute challenges. Had I seen it, I would not have accepted, but I didn't, because it doesn't give me as much time for witty banter. You have to sort of, play much more quickly in 3 minutes, and it doesn't excite me that much. I don't think it's a competitive disadvantage for me. It's just, with this format, it's not that much fun. These bishop e3 structures, I can never decide if I want to take on e3 or not, or if I want to play this structure. It's a tough call. Everything more or less equalizes. Bishop e6, you can play for effect, because your position looks so dumb if he takes on c5 and on e6, but it's not as bad as it looks. And knight d5 feels, I don't know what it feels like. It feels harmless, to be honest. Take here. So many choices. Knight a5 looks like an equalizer too, but I don't see anything particularly wrong with this. Queen b6 just to be annoying as usual, to stop him from castles for now. I won't be able to stop him forever, but for now, ask him questions. I don't know where my pieces should go. Probably here, queen f2 and queen takes c6. Maybe not, I don't know what this knight is doing here. Decisions. Decisions are very tough. Note to self, don't blunder bishop d5 anytime soon. Just so I don't forget about this looming threat. Once again, my main goal is to be a nuisance. He was going to play king h2, preparing g3. I won't allow g3, so he has to think of something else to do. And then, all of a sudden, time is running out. Schneetes is going to think, why did I challenge to a 3-minute game? If everyone asks so politely to challenge for 5-minute games. Now, let's keep this close. I understand after a5, I might have generated some weaknesses on my queen side, but normally it's a weakness trade-off. What do you want? You want to go d4? Looks like you might want to go d4. Interesting. Nah, I can't go rook f8. Don't know what to do. Probably I should just panic. Never sure about h6 because it weakens the g6 square, which might not sound like a big deal, but it actually is sort of a big deal after knight h4, knight f5, queen g3. And here we go. Here's knight g1, which I think I mentioned earlier. Yeah, typical Spanish, whatever we call this, Italianish maneuvering game. Not really much going on. Guess I should go a5 at some point. The knight returns. I'll hint at d5. Does not seem to concern him all that much, and frankly, it shouldn't. I don't know about this king h7 move, but somehow my instinct said, put the king on h7. Really not sure why. But you gotta listen to your instincts. Without our instincts, we're just animals. That's what separates the humans from... Did I blunder this? Oh boy, I was already so sure I was flagging that I stopped paying attention. Which is a bit sad. Note to self. Don't plan the flagging celebration before it's over. Because now the going got a little tougher. Yeah, I won on time. Apologies. Blah, blah, blah. 3-minute game. Gotta play it quickly. So I prefer 5-minute games. Let's play another one. What about John van der Wall? And yeah, I was joking about the animal instincts. Smarty pants in the chat. It's gonna be... The thing is, most of the time I'm just talking nonsense, and sometimes I'm trying to ironic myself. So it's very hard to draw the line, but probably I should say I'm joking more. That's the note of anybody who's funny, that you constantly point out, this was a joke. Oh no, I was joking. What is this opening? Knight h3? Never seen this. Generally, you don't want to take on d5 once you have your bishop on g2, because now my pieces can roam freely. Castles, rook e8, bishop f5, whatever. While the white pieces don't make that much sense. That's maybe a bit harsh. But it's not a very challenging setup. I could have taken here and then here. End of quote. What is the chat discussing today? Hammerstorm Ulf says, I always assume you're joking unless you state otherwise. Yeah, that's probably a better attitude, because it also gives me an excuse if I talk too much nonsense. No, I was obviously being facetious. One of the 3 words in the English language that I know. As for this game, John van der Wall, yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the opening play, but he's done nothing too criminal. Ever since he could take on d6, put a knight on f4, put the other knight on c3, and we play some equal-ish position. I'm very tempted to go knight d7 all the time, but I should probably not blunder this bishop. So I'll keep it out of the way. This is mainly trying to play for cheap pose. I'm trying to embarrass the knight on h3 by going for some, I don't know, h6, queen c8, and all of a sudden it's trapped. Don't know if it's the smartest choice, objectively. But that is a common question. Evans Gambit keeps asking, Jan, is Magnus still the favorite to win in Leuven? What do I know? He's not that far behind, right? So I always think he's the favorite. But Wesley So has won quite a few events recently, where I thought Magnus was the favorite as well. But yeah, he's still the favorite. So if you want to bet on it, put all your monies on the world champion. Or don't. No, don't bet at all. Gamble responsibly, or not at all. That's my advice. As for this game, John van der Wal is playing well. I'm also playing well, so it's a well-played game. Just as I praised you, John. You're giving me a pawn. But then again, maybe you didn't. Maybe it's a turp. Because after rook takes e5, you have queen d4 with a double attack, which currently I do not see how to dismantle. But my pawn grabber instinct is activated. And maybe I can start with knight g4. Then after queen d4, go queen b6. And one day, take my precious. Got my pawn. Sometimes I forget the title of this program, and I think it's just Blitz. So let's play a bit of Blitz with or against, depending on your worldviews. John van der Wal. I'm a pawn up, so that's good. Ooh, more pawns. I'm wondering, but I do know the answer to that question. If John van der Wal has anything to do with John van der Wiel, the Dutch Grandmaster. But I'm guessing it's just similar names. I should be more interested in the proceedings on the chessboard and try to voice like a plan how to convert my 2 pawns advantage, which is mainly don't blunder any of the 2 pawns and then good things will happen eventually. I'm not a big believer in like this is my 18-step plan to convert my advantage. Normally you try to make a move that doesn't lose any pawns or other pieces, and then you let the fruit ripen in its own accord. If you can grab more pawns, that tends to help as well, because then you no longer have to worry about converting your 2-pawn advantage, but you can start thinking about converting your 3-pawn advantage, which typically is easier than converting a 2-pawn advantage. Of course, there are many exceptions to these wise rules. Sometimes you might want to play for a deep trap, like knight c3, rook g2, king g2, d4 check. But that's not really necessarily a part of technique. You could also not go for rook g2 and win. There's so many choices. That's what makes chess so tough. A wise man once said, in chess, there's like 8,000 different possibilities, which is a lot of possibilities. I don't know how he came up with that number, which makes me question his wisdom. Probably 8,000 is on the low end, actually. But he had his own low end theory, and John van der Wal decides to resign because d4 was a discovered check. Who else could we possibly play for, or against, or with? maybe, but just maybe. Let's play IR Baboon. I am Weasel. 2200. I shall play d4 and then c4 and then knight c3, then e4. IR Baboon, probably, I was gonna say it's probably a King's Indian player, but I was wrong. He's not a King's Indianer. After e6, it's the eternal question. Do you go knight c3, knight f3, or even g3? So many options, but at the end of the day, we always end up in the same old 4 knights English. Of course, d5 is a legal move. It's just, I lack bravery to cross the, what do you call this? The demarcation line so early in the game. b6 is supposed to be a bit of a mistake. How can I punish that? The harshest. Knight db5 maybe? e4 is also good for white, but then we probably get some headshot type of situation. But knight db5, hinting at bishop f4, looks like a good move. Probably the best black can do is d6, bishop f4, e5, bishop g5, a6, and bishop f6, gf. And I'll look for some trick, probably queen t5. Well, I don't know, doesn't look like a nice position. So probably that's not the best that black can do, because the line I gave seemed sort of losing. But yeah, this position already strikes me as a little unpleasant. You can play a6, but this is not an ideal outcome of the opening either, where you're dealing with the 2 bishops and you're being sort of strangled on the dark squares. So it's not great, but it's okay. Can I go for more excessive greed already? Normally I find it hard to stop myself from excessive greed. Even though knight a4 is pushing it a bit, I should probably have developed some piece, some e4 or e3 or g3 or long castles, whatever. But it's a pawn. Tasty pawn. e5 looks like the only move. And queen e7, king e7, knight b6. b5, I thought knight b6 was picking up things, no? We'll find out. Maybe he wants to play e5 now. It also doesn't look very tempting. Well, this, I'm just gonna keep it simple. Therefore, IR Baboon resigns. I was gonna take the rook and then more stuff. So yeah, b6, don't do that. If you must, then play a6 first, but you don't have to. Go knight c6, that's what the experts do. Now the chess game, that's also what the experts do. Let's play against Stephen Curry 30. Where are you from? Are you from the United States? That's what it says. He also does have a Steph Curry avatar. So my best guess is he is a giant Miami Heat fan. But as usual, I could be wrong about these things. We are discussing this Slav. Recently I've played a lot of exchange Slavs. Well, a6, hang on. Nah, I'll play normal. I'll play knight f3. Sometimes in this move order, you get tempted to be super smart and start with queen c2 or bishop d2 instead of knight f3. But I'll play it straight up. Knight f3, b5, one of 3 main moves, e6, bishop f5 being the other 2. b3, g6, this is not a line I'm very familiar with. But how bad can it be? Get some pieces out. I'd like to put my bishop on a3, but queen a5 annoys me. Problems. Well, on b2 the bishop really doesn't do all that much. I'm recalling this game Bluebaum Aronian from, where was it, Granke chess, where the bishop went to b2. It didn't have a very bright future. I'll put it here. If he goes queen a5, I'll retreat, say, you know what, I was just testing the waters, Stephen Curry 30. It's an odd move though. I don't know, I'm playing oddly. Oddly basketball. Rook e8, yeah, why not? Making sure I can't take that pawn. But bishop a3 was a strange move. You need the a-pawn to do something. Well, now I'm sitting here, I can't decide what to do next. I'm in constant fear about queen a5 hitting my bishop. It's a jungle out there. Once again, I'm being corrected that Stephen Curry does not play for the Miami Heat. Which team does he play for? Cleveland? Please educate me. I also didn't get any advantage, which is annoying. Jimmy Ray is asking, Jan, are my hometown Timberwolves gonna finally make playoffs now that we got Butler? I believe, yeah, you're supposed to be a small favorite to make the playoffs, right? Like 60%. So I believe in you, even though, gotta say, I'm not the biggest Tom Thibodeau fan, really. I have a feeling that there is something to running your players in the ground by playing them too many minutes. And I thought he had learned his lesson after he did that in Chicago constantly. Then he had this one sabbatical year where he was like doing internships with teams and studying all this sports science and stuff. But he's still doing it to your boys Towns and Wiggins. Like they were, averaging 38 per game. So next season it's just going to be Jimmy Butler 45 minutes, Towns and Wiggins 40 minutes. I don't think that's a very healthy approach to team building also. Probably doesn't give the rookies a lot of confidence. Look at Golden State. They have like freaking McCaw play in the finals. And Thibodeau, I don't know. I don't like this approach of just running your starters into the ground. But having said all that, I do believe that Minnesota is a favorite to make the playoffs next year. Because probably, if they're in win now mode, they might make some other trades. And yeah, I like their chances. As for the game, I don't know. I guess I achieved a little something by planting my bishop here, and now hopefully a4 will open the queen side advantageously for me. But it's still not very much. Stephen Curry 30. We still don't know which team he could be playing for. He's weighing his options. Bishop f8 is probably no good. But I don't know. Queen c7, do I go a4? I'll wait for half a move. Then again, sometimes you wait for half a move too long. Nah, I'll play a4. Yeah, now it's unpleasant for black. He probably has to take, then queen takes. After bishop f8, I can always fortify my bishop on c5 by going b4. b5 would be looming, a6 is weak. Whoa, did not see a5 coming. Just as I was giving my usual premature victory speech. He hits me with a5, which I missed. And it's a good move. That's too bad. Queen b5, rook b8. Do I have tricks there? Bishop d6. Ugh, so complicated. Let's think. Queen b5, rook b8, bishop d6. Queen d6, rook c6, bishop c6, rook c6. Nah, even that is not clear enough. Nah. I'll be humble and sad. I don't know why I went to a2. Probably because it's the saddest square. Got outplayed here by Stephen Curry over the last couple moves. No denying it. Very sad. Nope, I got nothing. I'm probably slightly worse if anything by now. If I keep blundering with moves like bishop c5, it might not get better. Bishop c6. Even that works, yeah, king of 8. Nothing special I can do. c5 takes. Nah, it's just not much there. Not my proudest game ever. Not that I ever played a game I was proud of in Banter Blitz, or at least I can't recall any. But this one is not making the list. Goes to h7 with the king. Surprising choices. King f1, what nonsense. Oh man. Ooh, queen g5 check. Uh-oh. This is just sad. Why did I offer a draw? I should resign like a normal person. Do I resign or do I continue my flagging instincts? Let's see. At least I can say I lost to Stephen Curry. He's not being super smooth with the conversion. Oh, but I'm losing on time too. Yeah, good game, Steph Curry. The position was equal and then I committed ritual suicide by blundering queen d5 check, which is very sad. But good game by him. Can't say anything bad about it. I wish I could though. Nah. Alright. I'm losing a worrisome number of games these days. Let's beat up brave Sir Robin to make me feel bad about myself again. I also have a feeling I'm showing too much skin on these programs, which is probably not appropriate. It is a PG-13 show, which means I only get to say fuck once per show, not more than that. Those are the rules for PG-13. And therefore I probably should not be showing all this skin. But I don't really like undershirts. And since I'm so ripped, like this shirt is really way too tight for me. Those are the problems I'm dealing with here. Stephen Curry 30 is rubbing it in, saying, "Good game, Jan. Come on, come on. I know you're supposed to have your victory lap, but that's a bit much." We are playing the Scotch against Brave Sir Robin, which is a very brave opening choice indeed. I normally play Bishop A6, mainly because I've never gotten around to studying Knight B6. I believe both moves are supposed to be equally as good. Queen E4 is one move they used to play in the old days, trying to repeat moves. After Knight F6, Queen E2 back, I have nothing better than Knight to D5. So we shall play with Brave Sir Robin's feelings once and then deviate with Knight to B4. And Fuchsia is asking, why don't you buy shirts in your size? I do, but the problem is I'm putting on muscle at such an alarming rate. Like if I keep doing this, I believe I will have a hulkish frame in like 2 weeks. That's very hard to keep the size. So I should probably buy bigger shirts and grow into them. But I have a feeling that I'm too old of growing into things. So really can't win at this shirt situation. I can win by taking all the pawns down. That is my one go-to move that I still have. And Brave Sir Robin will be subjected to all my pawn-grabbing wrath. Do I take or do I go Bishop C3? Both moves are pretty good. And yeah, it goes to show how low my self-esteem has become, that I need to bully Brave Sir Robin rated 1669 and show off and brag about my victory here. It's sad. It's a sad state of events. Also, I did it again. I said brag about my victory before I won the game. Now I did win the game. But these premature celebrations, they're becoming a real problem. Focus. Last game. What about this guy? Sid Rudrick. What's that avatar of yours? Is that a sea lion? Looks like one of these dangerous sea predators. What is it? Sea leopard? Oh no, it's some... Is that a rhinoceros floating? Looks like that Nirvana album cover somehow. This in utero cover. Something's wrong with that picture. Sid Rudrick, please elaborate. What is going on there? Is it in space? Is it underwater? Why can't it swim? I don't get it. This line, it's one of those lines that normally I'm always happy to play with black because I always operate under the assumptions that C3 Sicilian players don't really know any theory and it's unbalanced enough that you can play for a win. The problem is I've also never really studied anything here. But I do feel like this is a line that should not be avoided with the black pieces. D4? Whoa! Why? Is that a pre-move? Why don't you recapture? Why so aggressive? What have I done to deserve all this aggression? I don't really see the point. He gave up a pawn, and it doesn't look like there's any follow-up. Knight c6, bc, maybe knight f5, but then worst case scenario I can take. Probably I can also castle. So yeah, not sure what that's about. Knight f5, bishop f6. I'll think about it when we get there. No, bishop f6 I should probably avoid. So hard to please you guys. I'm doing banter every day almost. Saying, not even an hour. Do more. Nah. Oh, I shouldn't get checkmated. Now I'm scared. I might get checkmated by Sid Rudrick in the last game of the day. Because I'm steaming already. It only takes one game to get me steaming and self-loading. And once I start steaming, I start playing much worse as well. So it's really a vicious cycle. And Sid Rudrick has just found the soft spot. Soft spot? See, I'm not making sense anyway. Either. It's not like the banter gets better from my steaming. It's just that the chat gets worse. The chat is always bad. The chess, I meant. No, the chat is always excellent, is what I meant to say. Anyway, Sid Rudrick got a bit of an initiative here. I have to be careful now. Not my specialty, being careful. Ha! That does save me from the need of being careful. And I can play one very last game. Because that one was so quick. And because I want to keep everybody happy. I'm a pleaser. That is maybe my only weakness. I want to be liked too much. But the problem is, I define my self-worth by being liked by people that I don't really know. And I don't make much of an effort to get to know them. And if you define your self-worth by anonymous likes and followers on the internet, it's not a good thing. It's much more important to connect with people in real life. Oh boy, I wish I was kidding. Who shall we play? What about Uhmud Atta Akbar? I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. I also forgot to get coffee. Maybe that's why I'm playing so badly these days. Because I'm still not willing to admit that it's Father Time that finally got a hold of me. That I just can't play chess at all anymore. I want to think there's other reasons. Lack of practice, distractions, lack of sleep, lack of focus. I don't know. Let's blame social media. There's just no attention span anymore to be had to play a decent game of chess. I also have no idea why I keep allowing this bishop takes f4 to every juncture here. No more. You can't take this, but this looks very risky. h6. Let's pretend I'm an attacking player. It's the last game. This is probably the first time in my life I've played g2 to g4. And probably the last time as well. But it felt like not completely ridiculous since he's played h6. Why not go for a little attack? g4, h4, g5. The problem is I have no idea how to conduct such an attack. Because I've never done it. It's like, quite often, if you do something for the first time, you're not very good at it. I have no idea what you dirty minds are thinking about. Me, I'm talking about playing g2 to g4. Why did I pre-move de? Nah, probably that was a decent pre-move actually. Alright, let's continue attacking. I should probably not allow him to get in g6 to stabilize the king side. Therefore, I must do it myself. And I have a plan. It's roughly knight g5, queen h5, queen h7 checkmate. Can I do it anyway? I don't like to deviate from my plan once I made up my mind. Not sure why I had to go knight g5. I could just have gone, I don't know, knight h4 maybe. He's gonna probably play queen e8, then knight f7. Not over yet. But I do like my chances. And GJM says, I played g2, g4 in an online game about 12 years ago in an exchange Slav. That must be a lie. No one's ever played g2, g4 in an exchange Slav. So that's not possible. And yeah, I could not think of any other incident. What did I do? I made everything blue. Isn't this normally checkmate? These things are normally checkmate. Check, 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 and at some point it's mate. Which I believe is the definition of checkmate. Check, 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 and at some point it's mate. Probably still have to... Do I have to take... I can't think of anything better. It was checkmate. What? Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm totally winning. Let's not get too upset about that. But still. Not so clear, actually. I thought I missed some checkmate in 2, but maybe I didn't. I'll just get a bunch of queens, see if that helps my case. But I want to keep this bishop too. This bishop is a friend, and I cherish him. I want to have him around. I don't want to rush with just getting a queen. If it costs me, Mr. Bishop, I value his input. I don't know what I'm doing, but this extra queen that I will soon have should probably leave his... It's her. It's female. The queen is female. Most of the times, at least. Should leave a mark on the game. b6 is clever. Trying to go g8, bishop b7. Winning one of my queens. I guess I'll play along. What's the material balance now? I haven't really kept track. ef2, I believe, improves it further in my favor. But all these extra rooks must have been nice for me. So I won my game, yay, against Umut Ataakba. And I still feel bad, because, yeah, let's play a very last game. Boy, this is like one of my awkward interviews. Last question. Okay, very last question. Very, very last question. With me being the interviewer, just to clarify. But there's always time to crush Ricala. That's one of my rules. There is always time to crush Mr. Ricala. What are we talking about? Yeah, I'm steaming. That's why I played g4. I think I made it clear. Was the first and last time in my life. Lefty John is wondering, what's the most queens I ever had? I don't know. Did I ever have 3 queens? Probably in Blitz games, but in tournament games, I don't think I've made it past 2 queens. Jimmy Ray is saying it would be nice to have more banters. I feel that is the reason to be premium. Well, some people have different reasons. My personal feeling is that there's lots of banters on the site, but it would be nice to have some more other stuff. More live commentary, more video series, more whatever, opening clinics. But everybody has different feelings about it. And yeah, what's wrong with doing banter? But it feels like, isn't there like a Banter Blitz every day? Not by me necessarily, but there's lots of stuff. And yeah, people are saying, not just by Jan, but bring in some other guys. Which I also second that. It's the usual business slippery slope, like the more premium members you have, the more different and stronger and more exciting Banter Blitzers you can afford. So it's the usual conundrum. Then the more action you have, the more premium members you have. It's a chicken egg situation. But yeah, we always have our eyes open. Well, I never have my eyes open, but the smart people around here always have their eyes open for bringing in new people, doing new shows, all that kind of thing. Because as full as I am of myself, you don't just want to hang out with me on lovely Chess24 all day long. I have to hang out with me all day long, and it's not great fun, I can't tell you that much. As for the game, it's not great fun either, because I have a feeling Riccala will eventually checkmate me with some brutal attack against the f7 square. But seriously, nah, should be fine. I got the bishops, and I'm undermining the center now. He has to take on d6, then queen d6, knight d2, and whatever. Bishop f5. One of those. Brooklyn Bobby has a dream that one day we will have 24-hour banter. We've done plenty of those, like these 72-hour Banter Blitz marathons. They're a bit, draining. But you're saying it's like a TV program, like, I don't know, Home Shopping Europe, where someone's there to sell you stuff, in this case Blitz games, 24 hours a day. Maybe we'll get there, maybe not. Lefty John is using fancy words. Haven't seen anyone with a sprezzatura as you. What's that? My Italian is not very good. Sprezzatura? Sounds like a pizza. But that could be constructed as a racist comment, because I really don't speak Italian. So I don't know what that is. Maybe it's not even an Italian word. Please elaborate. Studied carelessness. Is that what's the word? See, I'm not so well studied. An oxymoron? How do you study carelessness? Wouldn't you be less careless if you studied it? I don't know, I'll take it as a compliment. But yeah, I haven't studied this. I just sit here and talk nonsense. Probably because I haven't studied. Oh boy. I will crush Riccala though, which won't make me happy. I'm still steaming about this loss to Stephen Curry 30. But crush him I shall. Lefty John is saying, it means the ability to make it seem easy. Huh? Is that the impression you get? I'm trying to make this look hard. By my play, I certainly am. As for talking nonsense, the key is, if you don't really care what you say, it is reasonably easy. It's much harder if you try to make sense or try to be witty. But once you're past that point, it's not that hard. Anyway, thanks Lefty John. I'll take it as a compliment. I'm bad at reacting to compliment. I have to go into the self-deprecating mode instantly. Maybe there will be personal growth one day, and that won't be my only reaction. But we're not there yet. Artur Navrovsky is saying, hi Jan, where do you do the 3BB marathon? You, GM Peter Svidler and GM Pepe Cuenca, 8 hour each. No, I don't think we can torture Svidler boy with playing 8 hours of Blitz in a row. I did one with just me and Pepe. That was a bit too much, where we both had 12 hours per day. And yeah, that was too taxing. So in the future, I think we're gonna need 3 guys for it. We did one with, well, I'm blundering here, bishop e6, I blundered knight f3. We did one with, who was it? Luke Van Wely and Lawrence Trent at some point, and yours truly. And yeah, I'm sure we'll do another one in the distant future. But now I have to focus on beating Riccala, because I drifted a bit, and bishop e6, knight f3, my structure is a little less good than it used to be. So focus. I guess I'll flag him though. So it's all good. And yeah, I do agree that Pepe Cuenca has an unfair amount of energy. Well, I compensated by having 0 energy, but Pepe at least has energy for 2. Therefore, now that I think about it, we could have a 72-hour just Pepe Cuenca Banter Blitz. I think if anybody can do it, it is Mr. Cuenca. Well, I did win a piece, which fills my heart with joy, but I'm trying not to show my true feelings about it. What was I talking about? Yeah, Pepe's doing a lot of good stuff. I'm a fan of the guy. Let's go home. I did win on time. A fitting end to this show. Apologies to everybody who had to sit through this. It's not so much the level of chess, but also the level of banter. It's really deteriorating. And I understand I shouldn't be doing all the fake apologies. I just feel like you're taking time out of your schedule. You could have spent it on something like watching Better Call Saul, or I don't know. Probably not watching basketball. There's no basketball season. But you could go to the movies. One Banter Blitz is at least half a movie. Watch Wonder Woman, so that at least you should learn something about chess or be entertained. And if I don't deliver the goods like today, I feel very bad about it. I have to drop my nonchalance and say, I'm sorry. I'll try to do better next time. See you then. Bye bye.